Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the R Holistic Killer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with a very urgent message that some people may need to hear, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead on and get into the message, okay? So we're about to have this major activation. Let's just say on March 23rd when we enter into, I believe it's Aries season in a sense. But I do want you to know that it's very important for you guys to just be aware of, first of all, just making sure that you're grounded, okay? Because there's a situation that's going to transpire in some people's life. And the way I saw this was there going to be some people who may some loved ones of individual people you may find that they're not feeling well. They're feeling sick in some sort of way, getting some sort of treatment in some sort of way is what I saw it. Okay. Where some may be confined to their own personal beds in their house. And I saw that others may be kind of like in a actual hospital bed. Okay. So I just want to give you the warning there. Okay. So just be mindful of that. And the way I saw this was, I saw it was pertaining to like some women in a sense, okay? Some women round about a particular age, somewhere between the ages of like 30 something, maybe like 32 is just what I heard, from like 32 up until maybe like maybe 70. Maybe 70, somewhere around that age. Anyway, so I say all that to say, just be mindful because, like I said, I saw that some of you may find yourselves kind of help assisting, loved ones in a sense, because I saw that someone there are going to be two groups of people, some that's going to be not feeling well and they're going to be confined to their beds in their home in a sense until they feel better. And then the other group of people are going to find themselves at a hospital somewhere. Okay. And like they receiving some sort of treatment. Okay. Anyway, so be mindful of that. Okay. And I saw that this is coming in the form of, and I only share how God gives it to me. Okay. But this was Black people. Okay. This does not mean that this is all Black people, but this is the message that some Black people need to hear. Okay. And I'm just a messenger, so don't get upset. Okay. I'm just here to warn you and give you the message ahead of time so that way you can prepare yourself, so that way that you don't act irrational or, ungrounded or, all of those type of things, or allow your emotions to really drive you in a sense that can allow you to find yourself in a place that you don't want to be. Okay. So I'm not done yet, but I said that for a reason. Okay. So this next message that I saw was, so just know that that's a message for some Black people. Okay. Two different groups of pertaining to Black people. Okay. So anyway, as I said, because we have this major activation that is coming up and it's going to affect people in different ways. Okay. So this next message that I received was that, someone is planning to leave somebody. So whether you're in a situation of a marriage with somebody, and right now, if you guys are currently living in the same household with each other, or if you are just dating someone, maybe you may have kids together, or I think the way I saw this wasn't somebody who had kids, but that doesn't mean that may not be pertaining to it. So if I just said it, so obviously Spirit was just trying to let me know that could possibly apply to somebody else as well too. So be mindful of that as well. But nevertheless, whether it's a situation of two people are married and they're living in the same household, or if it's a situation of two people are dating and may possibly have kids together, whether they have kids together or not, they're in a relationship, they stay in the same household. The way I saw this is I got it like someone is planning to leave, okay? Someone is planning a secret exit, okay, that the other person does not know about and they're not aware of, okay? But it's almost like they're sharing this information with someone else that they know, whether it be a family member of theirs or whether it be a close friend of theirs, okay? So the other person meaning like the person who is thinking about leaving, it came in a form as if it's a female, but that doesn't necessarily mean it could be a female it could be a female energy as well too, meaning it could be a male but carrying a more feminine energy, okay? So be mindful of that as well too. So anyway, but someone is leaving. They're not necessarily telling you, but someone close to them does know that they're about to leave. And it's almost like they don't want the other person to know because they're trying to plan out their exit. So I just want to give you a heads up with that, okay? So if you find yourself in a situation that you're in a relationship right now to where your relationship is a little like things have been a little rocky, maybe you've been kind of questioning whether this person is like really being authentic with you, or whether they're hiding something from you, or whether they're being truthful with you, or whether you feel like, your intuition could have possibly went off. Your red flag or sirens and whistles and bells could also went off as well too, letting you know, hey, something's not right in a sense. So for some people, this could be your confirmation. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Then my phone made a noise, so that's just a confirmation. So the next message I received was somebody's going to be getting a grand treatment in a sense. So imagine like arriving at like a hotel in a sense, and it's almost like, imagine arriving at a hotel, and let's just say maybe these people wasn't aware that you were coming, but all of a sudden they start treating you like royalty. Okay. So for some people, that's going to happen as well too. Okay. They're going to kind of like bend over backwards to please you in a sense. Okay. And I also forgot to mention to give you guys this message the other day as well too. This was also a situation of some of you guys who feel like you have been last on a list and feel like whether God has not been picking you for something, or where you feel like other people had just been kind of, pushing you to the side in a sense, and, acting like, whether they were acting or intentionally doing this in a sense, acting like you didn't matter because they were either entertaining other people or whatever the case may be. Some of you guys, someone is about to, the way I saw this was somebody that you don't know is about to actually step up and like literally make you feel, let me just say, like, if nobody else was choosing you in a sense, it's almost like someone's gonna choose you. Okay. And they're gonna choose you in a way that they see who you are. They see your authenticity. They see how authentic you are. They see that you're different from everybody else. They see that you're not like everybody else. They see that, it's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. Okay, so if you felt like you never got picked for something, some of you guys are about to, not all, some of you guys may be finding yourself in a situation to where you're going to be very shocked, because it's almost like you're going to be like the center of attention in a sense. Okay, just like I just said about somebody's about to get a royal treatment. Anyway, this next message came through was, I heard two songs. I actually heard a third. I can't remember the other one. So one song was Patti LaBelle, but I'm not done yet. One song was Patti LaBelle, is like the song that says "Somebody Loves You, Baby." I think the part where she said, "I woke up suddenly with you on my mind." Okay. Anyway, so you guys can go listen to that if you feel like you resonate with it. And then the other song came through the other day was Michael Jackson's song. The song, what is it? Tomorrow, I don't know the name of it, but it goes like, tomorrow will bring a better you, a better me. So this has a lot to do with this activation is about to transpire. Okay. So you guys can go listen to that song as well too, if you feel divinely guided to. And I also received a message of there's some integration taking place, meaning like some of your masculine, your feminine energy that is within your side, that is within you. Okay. Like I carry masculine and feminine energy in a sense. So it's almost like it's being integrated. It's being balanced in a sense. Okay. So this is part of the activation that some of us are experiencing in a sense. It's almost like the light and the dark is balancing itself. So as an example, let's just say hypothetically, if you have been somebody who was always giving, and constantly giving to let's just say other people, but you never really took care of yourself, and you didn't necessarily really take care of yourself, but you always took care of other people. It's almost like now you understanding what it feels like to care for yourself and to also balance the scales for other people as well too. Whereas before you may have just been giving to other people and you didn't necessarily give to yourself, kind of like that in a sense. Okay. So let's just say another example is if you have always been somebody who was always just like, so positive in a sense of, like, there's always nothing but positivity, you have to say. So now it's almost like you understand now not only what positive is, but you also understand what not being positive is, because we all have light and dark within us in a sense. So it's like the two are balancing itself. So if someone is just being like continuously, not saying that we shouldn't be positive, but if every single word that you say in your life is positive, even down to and I don't mean that we should walk around here being negative, that's not what I'm saying, but some people may have experienced most of their life nothing but being positive. So now they're understanding what a little bit of darkness in their life feels like, in a sense, in order to balance out the energies, is what I'm saying. Okay, so this next message came through. Okay, so this next message came through. Some of your divine counterparts, it's almost like they're in school right now. And I don't mean like a actual institution. So let's just say like spiritual class in a sense. Okay, so spiritually, it's like the divine spirit of light has them learning a lesson. And part of the lesson is, I saw this as if like there's a situation of one, the situation is, let's just say if you were masculine before, maybe you might have been in a relationship, whether it was a serious relationship before, whether it was a committed relationship, or whether it was just a partnership. And let's just say if you just left the house and felt like you didn't need to, kind of say where you was going. Not saying we have to explain anything to anybody, but it's just like, you put the shoe on the other foot. You treat people how you want to be treated. So in other words, like let's just say if somebody was leaving or going somewhere, you would want to know that they're okay. And, just kind of like you want to know their whereabouts and to make sure that they're good, in a sense of, that way you know where they're going, in a sense, not in a possessive type way or not in a controlling type way is what I'm saying, but just more so out of concern, in a sense. So it's almost like, let's just say like it's a situation of, maybe some of you guys are learning how to release control. Let's just say that if let's just say your counterpart or whoever decides that, hey, well, I'm going here with my friends, or I'm just going to run to the store, it's going to be more so of maybe they're learning how to not question things and not to be getting upset or not to be looking at things suspiciously like there's something up or something's wrong. And I'm just talking about in regards to the twin flame journey, in a sense. Okay, I hate saying that word, because the path has just been really rocky road up and down, and I'm just like tired of saying it, but I just try to differentiate. Oh, if I'm saying that right. Anyway, I'm just trying to allow you guys to understand what the different relationships that I'm referring to here, okay, when I say that. But anyway, so then it was like a situation where like the divine counterpart needed to go somewhere. So as he needed to go somewhere, he basically was kind of speaking up saying, hey, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I'm going here, in a sense. So whereas before, if they might have just kind of left the house and felt like they didn't need to leave, in a sense, it's almost like they're kind of, learning how to balance those scales, in a sense, okay? But I did also see a message pertaining to that. Some of you guys may be walking away from a job. I just have to say it is what it is, what I saw, okay? So I don't know how this is going to transpire, but I saw like a situation of it's like the second time I saw like within a dream somebody wearing like black, in a sense. So when a person's wearing like all black in a dream, that's usually represents in like death and rebirth, okay? Like a person's mourning. So it's almost like you think about when people go to funerals, well, sometimes when they go to funerals, they wear all black, in a sense. So with that being said, this divine counterpart had on all black. His shirt was black, his pants was black, and his boots was black. But he had on like combat type boots, and he had on like cargo type pants, in a sense, with the pockets on the side. So that was letting me know that he was going and meaning like some business. But he also had this black bag, kind of like the ones they used to carry back in like the 80s, the long strap with the, look like the gym bags hanging down by your side, like the basketball players wear or the football players wear, with this equipment and stuff in it, kind of like that. But it's almost like this individual was going to meet up with one of his coworkers to turn in all of, let's just say, any equipment that they may have had pertaining to their job, in a sense, as a way to kind of like, I'm not sure if this to give resignation or just to, hand over, some of the equipment and stuff that they had from that job. Okay. So that's going to be a different message for some, and some may be asked to walk away from certain jobs, in a sense. Okay. So, oh, and the other message that I received as well, too, Thank you, Spirit. I almost forgot. So when I said some people were going to be falling ill, some people are going to be divinely guided to get up off their astronomical anatomies, okay? And they're going to find themselves, if they were always a taker before, they're going to find themselves kind of doing a caretaking with helping to take care of somebody else, okay? So again, if you were somebody who was always a taker, and you haven't necessarily really been kind of balancing those scales for us giving back, in a sense, it's almost like divine spirit light is going to guide you to help, almost kind of like I don't know if it's a family member, if they're doing this. Anyway, kind of assisting somebody who was falling ill, okay? But the other thing was too, some of you divine counterparts, you don't even know this, but some of you guys about to have this major ass activation. When I tell you it's major, because I woke up, I was like, whoa, okay? So I say all that to say, it's almost like, the way I saw it was like y'all gonna be meaning business in a sense. But when you wake up, y'all gonna activate some other people in the process of you waking up. So I say all that to say is like when you become activated, you are also activating other people. When you step into your activation, in a sense, it's going to shift something and activate other people at the same time. When I saw this, I was like, whoa, okay. So anywho, so let me leave that part right there. But I do have this message for you, which is so funny because it kind of came like right on time. Okay, so this scripture came through today. It's first Peter, second. It's supposed to be 2 to 3, but I need to just kind of read down a little bit. Okay, I just anyway, it says a living stone and a holy people. Okay, so this is pertaining to all of this activation. So you can go back and read it for yourself. It says 2. So put away all malice and all deceit and all hypocrisy and envy and all slander. Okay. So this activation is going to cause some people to do that. And it says 2, like newborn infants long for the pure spiritual milk, that by it you may grow into salvation. 3, if indeed you have tasted that Lord is good. Okay. So some of us have been going through certain situations where we see that God is really good. God has revealed himself to you. God has shown you certain things about yourself, and just your capabilities, who you are, and how God is with you and within you. Okay. And 4 says, as you come to him in a living stone, rejected by men, but in the sight of God's chosen and precious. Okay. So all of this training that you have been going through, God wants you to know that you're his chosen people. Okay. He don't just go around choosing everybody, because remember, he knew us before we was in our mother's womb. Okay. And he knew what our missions were. It says in 5, you yourself, like living stones, are being built up as spiritual houses. Okay. So this is what God has been taking you through, is nothing more than a spiritual training, initiations. I know it's been a lot of ups and downs, and oh my God, because it's been getting on my nerves as well too. But I say all that to say, it has basically made us all more spiritually strong, whereas other people had already known this information and we had not. Okay. We were called being asleep. Okay. So anyway, and 5 says, 6. 5. Let me finish with 5. You yourself, like living stones, are being built up as spiritual houses to be a holy priesthood. Okay. A holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God. Okay. That doesn't mean we're going around here to sacrifice people. That's not what it's saying. Okay. It says, acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. Okay. For it stands in spiritual. Behold, I am laying in Zion a stone, a cornerstone, chosen and precious, meaning yourselves. Okay. And whomever believes in him will not be put to shame. Okay. 7. So the honor is for you who believe, but for those who do not believe. So in other words, with you guys doing it in the work, that means that you believe in what God was doing. Okay. And for those people who reject God, they're not believers. The stone, and trust me, I've seen a lot of people on this spiritual journey who come like the wolf in sheep clothing, pretending like, oh yeah, I serve God too. Even to the point somebody was so freaking damn nosy that they wanted to see how I was living my life, in a sense, so that they can follow that same path. And I'm just like, and you have to know and understand, you have to serve God in your own way, not to be watching how somebody else is doing it, or spiritually be trying to, psychically spy on somebody else to see what they're doing, in a sense. Okay. So I say all that to say this path is about being authentic, not copying other people. Anyway, so the stone that, the stone that the builder rejected has become the cornerstone. So every person that has rejected you, you have become that cornerstone. Okay. And 8 says, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. Okay. So, okay, I'm sorry. So you were the ones that the builders had rejected. I'm sorry, the stones that the builders rejected. So, in other words, the builders have rejected you, has become the cornerstones, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. Okay. So God is offended, like how some people have basically treated his people. They stumble because they disobey the word. Okay. And I've seen a lot of that. And a lot of people, like I said, come in wolf in sheep clothing, talk about, oh God, this and oh God, that. But, God says, put your money where your mouth is. If you're not, faith without works is dead. So if you're not putting in the inner work, but yet you expecting to ride off somebody else's coattail, that's a problem for him, because that means that you're not doing the inner work. They stumble because they disobey the word as they were destined to do. Okay. 9, but you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellence of him who called you out of darkness. That's the key point. He's calling you out of darkness. Okay. Calling you out of darkness into the marvelous light. So now, as I said, God is about to reveal his people. I said in another video, some people are going to be very shocked and very surprised, because God is about to reveal himself. Some people already know this, and others don't even know this, because they're like, I don't know if I want to say they're not really in tune. I don't know if I want to say they're really not in tune, or they just have so many other distractions that's just keeping them distracted. But anyway, and like I said, but there are a lot of other people who do know. And for me, the way I see it is, it has been a lot of foreigners who does know, where it's really God's own people has been the one that has been really asleep. So 10 says, once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Okay. Once you had not received mercy. Okay. Lord knows the ups and downs, but now you have received mercy. And I'm about to end it here, y'all. 11, beloved, I urge you as a sojourner and an exile to abstain from the passion of the flesh, okay, which wage war against the soul. Okay. So this is the reason why God had been taking you guys through so many ups and so many downs. For some of you guys, for some of the men, it was a situation of chasing after other women, looking at other women, and, always having a wandering eye, or, constantly doing this or constantly doing that. So yeah, God had to give you over to the lust of your desires, in a sense, so that way you can allow your heart to be broken, allow you to see that everything that glitters is not gold, to allow you to be able to be hurt, in a sense, so that way you can understand and see what that feels like. Okay. Because some of you guys have hurt other people. So therefore God had to allow you to see what that felt like, so that way you can really understand and see what it feels like to be in somebody else's shoes. Okay. So all of that had to transpire and take place for a reason. Okay. But I'm going to end it here at 12. It said it ends anyway. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as a evildoer, they may see your good deeds and glorify God in the days of visitation. So again, keep your conducts among the Gentiles, meaning those who are not chosen, honorable. This is part of the reason why God, again, took us through the spiritual training. He had revealed things to us in regards to jobs or having integrity, things pertaining to money, because as they say, when it says that money can be the root of evil, I've seen people literally betray family members, literally. And I was just like, whoa, okay. So just going through those different situations, God had allowed those to transpire, so that way that when you do come into your blessings and so on and so on, it's almost like you purge that energy before you get there, so that way that you're not doing. It's almost like once you heal that energy, you don't have to repeat it again. So if you found yourself in situations, even some people had even sacrificed their family members, their marriages, in a sense, even down to the point of their kids. And when I say sacrifice, I don't mean like, the Baal, the big bull thing that they was sacrificing back then. But, you know, there's different types of sacrifice today. Like people literally just like in a way of, oh no, I don't know you. Nuh-uh, I don't know you, you know, and in so many types of ways. It's almost like you have a family, but you act like you don't have a family, as an example. Or, you know, or you have kids, or you act like you don't have kids, in a sense, like your kids don't even exist, in a sense. So that's what I mean by like just kind of sacrificing, you know, people that were close to some of you guys, in a sense, all for the sake of money, in a sense. Okay, like literally pushing people to the back burner in order to climb the corporate ladder. Okay, but as I said before, you know, sometimes when we build our houses on faulty foundations and it doesn't have God in the mix of it, it won't last. Okay, it won't last at all. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. But with that being said, I really hope that this message gets to the people that need to hear it. Like I said, there's about to be some major activations taking place. It's almost like if you have thought, oh, thank you, Spirit. If you were someone who thought you was going to take and leave your shit off on somebody else, in other words, like not do the inner work, and just like, hey, if you had some like ailments, or you had some problems, or whatever it could be. So just imagine, like, whatever, if you didn't do any inner healing work, but you thought you was going to leave all your dust, your dirt, and so on at somebody else's house, or push it off onto somebody else. God is like, you reclaim your shit. Reclaim your shit and heal your shit, okay? Because there's no more of that pushing that stuff off onto other people, okay? Anyway, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it there, but I hope this message was helpful. But again, I hope the messages reach who they need to reach, because like I said, yeah, major activations, okay? And when some of these males become activated, they're gonna activate something in some other people as well too, okay? So anyway, but with that being said, I wish you all much love, much light until the next message. Bye.